Hello and welcome to Moneylife News and Views. I'm Debashis Basu. On April 28th, Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi was talking to the chief ministers reviewing the COVID situation in the states. And when he made a very strange claim, he said that many companies would exit China now and India should be ready to attract such investments. After all, India has abundant manpower, skills, and improved infrastructure, he claimed. Very soon, Union Minister Mr. Nitin Gadkari told a business channel, in the whole world there is a hatred for China and the Chinese economy. This is an opportunity for India. You thought these were the kind of bluster that politicians usually indulge in. But then a subsequent news report claimed that Invest India, a government arm designed to promote and facilitate global investments, has already drawn up a list of 1,000 companies across the world for making investment pitches. Another news item also claimed that India has identified a land area of double the size of Luxembourg, of something like 461,000 hectares across the country. The Assam government announced that it is planning to woo multinationals that are willing to shift base from China to set up production facilities in the state. The orchestra is building up to a crescendo. Suddenly, BJP ruled Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh suspended almost a dozen labor laws, barring a few, for the next 4 years. Why? Because businessmen complain of tough labor laws and Inspector Raj, and so the government believes that suspending labor laws would attract billions of dollars. Now, I would be surprised if there is even a tiny bump in investments leaving China and that too coming to India. Here are 3 reasons why I think so. Firstly, as Dr. Subramanian Swamy, an economist and a China expert and a well-known thinker, says, countries are not like kirana shops, offering the same products at marginally different prices, which may encourage buyers to ship from one to another easily. These decisions, where to locate your business, and that too on a global scale, are not impulsive, not event-driven, and are far more complex. Not surprisingly, when the American Chamber of Commerce in China did a survey in March, they found that 70% of the members were not even thinking of relocating from China. Now, the whole premise, according to me, of foreigners leaving China is really false. Now, here are the reasons why I think so. Foreign companies first went to China for massive supply chain efficiencies, labor productivity, and world-class infrastructure. Now China is also a very large domestic market. Not only does an epidemic not change that, China has actually reinforced its image of efficiency by the way it has controlled COVID-19. As the president of American Chamber of Commerce in China reminds us, China appears ahead of the global curve when it comes to restarting the economy following months of lockdown, and many of the reasons why companies are in China in the first place still hold true today. In fact, I would be willing to bet that China will get more investments, not less. Businesses leaving China for India? Not much evidence so far. In fact, it's impossible for large interlinked businesses like autos just to get up and relocate themselves so easily. And even if some businesses leave China, will they come to India? Not really. In 2018, look at these numbers. In 2018, India dropped out of the top 10 destinations for foreign direct investments. Okay, and FDI, 80 Kearney FDI Confidence Index is the one that measures this. It was below the top 10 for the first time since 2015, when Southeast Asian economies enjoyed an FDI increase of 11%. India has not been a preferred destination for the last 6 years or 7 years or 8 years. It's not about political party, it's just that we are not efficient enough. Then the data released by the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, that is last year, it said that FDI into India actually declined in 2018-19. That's even before COVID, the previous year, for the first time in 6 years. No, India is not attractive by itself to foreigners, whether there is COVID or no COVID. And there are many reasons for this. We all know what the reasons are. The government doesn't want to hear what these reasons are, but everybody knows. Talk to any businessman, any exporter, and they'll tell you it takes 7 days for materials to move from Nagpur to Bombay port and takes another 7 days to move out to be exported. This is the kind of infrastructure and inefficiency that we have built into the system. Any other country will do it in a matter of a couple of days. Now, India has many problems. There's red tape, there's extortion, retrospective amendments, stringent labor laws, capricious changes in rules, tax terrorism, poor labor productivity, maddening delays at all levels, and so on and so forth. All these add up to a huge amount of business risk. So, direct investment of India is not going up. Point number 3. Well, why are we talking of FDI? India is not even attractive to Indian businessmen. Now, we all know that those who have a choice don't want to invest in India. They want to invest elsewhere, overseas. Domestic investment has been sluggish for the past 6 years, as reflected, and just look at the capital goods sector, how they're struggling. And this is because domestic demand is weak, there is overcapacity, and public investment is very low. The government also doesn't have money. Hence, there is no incentive for domestic businesses to invest anymore. India, in any case, has been suffering from a drought of private investment. Now, all of these 3 points, no one's leaving China. I mean, not too many, just a few of them. India is not an attractive investment destination, and well, Indians themselves are not so hot about investing in India. All 3 reasons are well known, especially the last 2 are very well known. So where did this belief come from that FDI will shift from China to India? And where is all these actions of BJP ruled states spring from? Now, here is my personal opinion. This appears to be a strategy of politicians to keep the media busy, to keep us busy, to give us some sort of hope, to keep some kind of conversation going in a different, irrelevant direction. We all chase the irrelevant stuff, and all this is designed to ward off the pressure and the questions you would be asking about the government's handling of COVID, about the government's handling of the economy. Don't forget, even before COVID hit us, the economy was just going down. It was even less than 5% growth that we had hit. So, in effect, there is absolutely no basis for this belief that money is going to come out of China and come into India. Well, so that's the point that I'm trying to make to you today, and I just leave you with a very interesting irony in all of this that we should not miss. The PM was quite happy to take credit for the FDI numbers in 2014-15. Since then, the numbers have stagnated and actually gone down. So now there is no talk of how India is a great destination and how FDI is flooding into India. So we're not talking about that. And now there is talk of how states should step forward and try and get the investments from China, even though all of those points that I mentioned, which is red tape and retrospective amendment and poor infrastructure, all of that is actually doing of the center. Thanks for watching.